Welcome back to the one and only Swifter podcast.
Welcome back to the Allergy Podcast.
Oh yeah, the allergy podcast is real. I'm having an allergic reaction to penicillin right now. Fun fact, I look like a tomato.
I'm having an allergic reaction to nature.
Fuck nature. That's what I'm saying. All those proud boys working in the oil fields. They're soldiers on the
You
front
did not
line.
want to put the phrase Proud Boys together.
Oh, my bad. Let me retry that. Those strapping boys working in the oil fields. They're the soldiers on the front line.
Okay, now you sound like a vaudeville parody.
I can sound like a parody. I don't care.
Those
Look,
strapping young boys in the oil field.
the strapping boys in the oil fields are the soldiers on the front line in the war against nature. Okay, fuck nature.
If my voice sounds like it's about to die, then that is why. However, we do have some things to go over today.
It's true.
This is the earliest podcast we've recorded in a while, and it's because our weekends look like hell. So
Oh yeah, we're recording on a Thursday. We never record on a Thursday.
we never record on Thursday.
I mean, my weekend is actually pretty good, but for what it's worth,
Mine is pretty awful.
that's fair.
I want to talk about it though, because this isn't a feelings episode. This is a down to business episode.
This is a business episode. This is the business podcast. No tangents. We're banning tangents this entire episode. There's going to be zero tangents. We're on topic 100% of the time.
Early disclaimer: we will be going on tangents.
No tangents.
Okay, what's the Taylor Swift news?
Oh God. People were I don't know if there's any news, but I saw people unfavorably comparing the titles of the new album that's coming out to Olivia Rodrigo titles, but saying that Olivia Rodrigo gets away with it because she's like 20 years old, but Taylor Swift should be more embarrassed. I'm a little skeptical of this whole conversation, frankly.
I think it's stupid. I think name your songs whatever you want. It's subject to criticism, but it's all subjective.
The title of a title of a song doesn't matter. Okay, a song needs a title.
The quality matters.
The song, Iris by Goo Goo Dolls. They never say Iris. Why is it called Iris? Someone asked the lead singer of the Goo Goo Dolls why it was called Iris, and he's like, "Man, why are you asking me? I didn't invent being pretentious."
I have something tangentially related.
Tangents.
Travis Kelce is in talks to host a celebrity-focused reboot of Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? But the question is Travis Kelce smarter than a fifth grader?
I think that's kind of what makes him. I think is he such
he is overly qualified for the position.
Yeah, he has a strong branding on the streets as a lovable man-child, and I think this really just plays into it in a way that you would really want it to.
You know, he was one of those college athletes who just took classes that have the most absurd titles.
Well, yeah. Wait, what's his major? It's like manager, whatever. It's like I'm looking this up right now.
We're already going on a tangent.
No, this is Taylor Swift news. Okay, this is not a tangent.
Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies. That is the interdisciplinary studies is how you know he didn't study shit.
That's the most bullshit major.
It's the most bullshit major to ever exist. By the way, like looking up interdisciplinary studies is so useless.
Oh my gosh. What is it? What does it qualify you to do?
It involves a combination of multiple academic disciplines into one activity. It draws knowledge from several other fields like sociology, anthropology, psychology, economics, etc. It's about creating something by thinking across boundaries. The field list is business and international studies, and
What I heard was High School 2. He took the sequel to High School to play football.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
He took advanced high school.
Like advanced high school is crazy.
He didn't turn in any work. What can you do? Public health educator. Community. Oh, these are like community specific ones.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's people also ask, what is his IQ? He got equivalent to a 104 IQ.
I don't know the scale.
So the average is 98, which means he is slightly above average for a US citizen.
See, that's how you know that IQ is some racist bullshit. Because what do you mean he has above average IQ?
Okay, I'll be frank here, though. He got a 22 on his Wonderlic test, which is like for NFL players.
Uh-huh.
And I think Ryan Fitzpatrick got perfect on it.
What? How much is a perfect?
I don't. It's comprised of 50 questions, I think.
50 question test.
Yeah. So 22 out of 50 would be a slightly above average, which is sad.
Well, I assume that they use like some weird sort of curve where it's like 25 is the highest because it's like every question's worth like half a point or maybe something. Or maybe.
Oh, Ryan Fitzpatrick got 48 out of 50, and he graduated from Harvard, by the way. Real ass man.
Real ass man, a real ass intellectual, a part of the Ivy League.
By the way, went to Harvard, had a 4.0 GPA. This man could have gone other place than the NFL. They were lucky to have him.
Well, what was his major?
That is a great question because you can bullshit your way through Harvard. Got a degree in economics.
Okay, that's actually not useless.
Yeah, that's not bad.
What's his contract?
He's retired right now, I think.
He's retired. He signed a 1-year, $10 million contract. See, this is what I'm saying. If you can play football, you should probably play football because the money in football is crazy. Like this football, every person in the NFL, even the underpaid ones, are probably going to sniff more money than I will ever in my entire life. And that's just like
he played for 17 years and immediately jumped into an analyst position.
Oh my god, that's actually crazy. Probably.
We have to talk about the Tony Romo meta, where the pipeline of mediocre player to analyst. I'm sorry, Tony Romo, Dallas Cowboy fans. He was a mediocre quarterback.
I think Dallas Cowboy fans know that.
I at first it was like novel to hear him. But now I cannot stand him.
Yeah.
Just waiting for him to shut up at all hours of the day. By the way, crazy Ryan Tannehill had his best season at age 33.
Really?
Yeah, and it's not close.
That's kind of what Nolan Ryan did. Nolan Ryan got better when he got older.
It's like it was the only year he threw for 30 touchdowns.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. He's just impressive in the fact that he played so long.
Yeah.
And then he's just like uniquely smart for an NFL player. Which sounds horrible to say, but...
Well, it depends what college you get into. Because obviously if you get into Harvard, even if you're a football player, you're going to be pretty bright.
Yeah. So, anyway, guys... MLB is here.
MLB is here.
The first series in Korea is underway, which means the rest of the MLB will be quickly approaching.
Hey Swifters, so this is Lucas as of 7/17 on March the 25th, 2024 on Monday. I'm editing the podcast, and we lost about like 15 minutes of podcast due to technical difficulties. It's probably not going to happen again. But if you wanted to hear the rest of that conversation or the rest of the conversation we had in those 15 minutes, tough luck, I guess. But basically, Jenna assembled her own film awards, and we are going to hard cut now to me talking about the Oscar wins for Best Song. So have fun with that. Motivation. Like, what are we doing here? Like the RRR song won last year. I'm like, it's a good song. It's a banger song.
That's pretty funny one.
But I thought Rihanna should have won. Like, I thought "Lift Me Up" was like, I mean,
I didn't think it was that good. I mean, it was fine, but I didn't love it.
Or even the Gaga song from Top Gun.
I did like that song, actually. I did like that.
Although her performance at the Oscars was weird and bad for that song. I don't know.
I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Okay, production design. Poor Things, Oppenheimer, Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, and The Zone of Interest. I actually thought about this one for a bit, but in terms of the nominees, but it's Poor Things.
Man, okay, you're just going right down with all the you're just an Oscar shill is what you are. You're just agreeing with all their picks.
For what it's worth, I gave a lot of consideration to the other nominees. This was actually like one of the categories I was like, yeah, I could see any of these being really, really good.
Yeah, I thought production design is kind of a... Again, I feel like Barbie's a good pick for this category, I feel like.
I do. Yeah, this was one of the ones I was like, yeah, it should have been nominated. Best sound, I had Oppenheimer, May December, Killers of the Flower Moon, Zone of Interest, and Anatomy of a Fall. And I think the Zone of Interest winning Best sounds like one of the best wins at the Oscars in recent years, which is kind of a crazy thing to say about such a technical category, but this movie works because of the sound design.
You see, I haven't seen it, so I have no idea what people are talking about when they say that.
It probably has the best sound design of like one of the better sound designs I've ever heard a movie.
That's interesting.
It just, the atmosphere is very much, it's very integral to it. So
yeah, that makes sense. Although I feel like Oppenheimer also would have been a good pick, but that's just my opinion.
I mean, Oppenheimer in a normal year would have probably won, but the Zone of Interest, like, it's very unquestionably that.
That's fair.
International feature film. I didn't get to a lot of international feature films this year, I'll be honest. But I did have was Society of the Snow, Zone of Interest, Anatomy of a Fall. And I think Anatomy of a Fall is the best. If you're wondering why it wasn't nominated at the Oscars, it's because France was being a huge dick. Because Triet insulted the president, which is kind of based.
That's very strange.
Yeah. And the countries decide which film to submit for the Oscars for that category.
Yeah.
Best editing, I had Poor Things, The Holdovers, Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Zone of Interest. And I went with Oppenheimer.
Oh, thank you. That was probably yeah. I feel like
no, there is some good editing this year, but it was Oppenheimer.
I feel like it's kind of editing, like it the screenplay itself lends to that kind of editing, the way it's the way they because it's like you're following a non-linear narrative with these threads, and you're going back and forth between different time periods within different perspectives, and it's okay, how do we how do we make it readable at all? And I feel like the editing, it just really, it works to make it make sense.
Yeah, I agree. It's very good. It's very well edited. like a lot of credit to Nolan's editor. I forget her
Yeah.
name, but like putting all that into a 3-hour movie
Yeah,
and making
3
it
hours.
cohesive is like impressive,
Oh yeah, for sure.
especially with all the editing that went into it.
Yeah.
Cinematography, I had um, the Iron Claw, Poor Things, Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Zone of Interest. This was also a tough one, actually, but I did go with Poor Things.
Hmm. Okay.
I think Oppenheimer might have been my second choice, but Poor Things is just so like colorful and vivid
Yeah.
and just surreal.
I think my pick would probably be Oppenheimer, just in the sense that they film such intimate moments with the IMAX cameras. It's kind of ballsy.
Honestly,
That,
Oppenheimer is like a technical marvel, even
yeah.
without the great screenplay and performances.
No, for sure. That image of him pointing the IMAX camera at Oppenheimer while he's laying in bed. It's funny, but
It's
it's also just
so
like
crazy.
it's a perfect encapsulation of like what that movie's vibe is.
It's a perfect encapsulation of the Nolan film set. Best original score, I had Poor Things, Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, May December, and Spider-Verse. Um, and I went with Oppenheimer.
Yeah, that's a good pick. It's kind of tough. I feel like it's definitely the standout.
Definitely. It, it's it's Garanson's year.
Is kind of crazy.
Give the
I can't
man
lie.
his flowers.
Oh yeah, yeah. Ludwig Göransson. I
We
think
love
by
we love you, Ludwig.
yeah, I think by the time his career is where Hans Zimmer's is by now, I think people will recognize how good he is to
That
that
is better
extent.
than Simmer.
Well, I mean, I agree with you, but I'm just saying, I think by the time that his career has gotten to that point.
Yeah. Okay, I'm looking through what I have left. Uh, Best actress in a supporting role. I had Davine Joy Randolph, The Holdovers, Julianne Moore, May December, Rachel McAdams, Are You There, God Is Me, Margaret, Emily Blunt, Oppenheimer, and Sasha Lane, How to Blow Up a Pipeline.
Okay.
And I went with Julianne Moore, actually. um,
Interesting.
May December works because of the performances for me.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a movie that it kind of rests on the actors' performances, which I feel like is kind
Yeah,
of what I feel
and
like
they
is
hit it
kind
out
of
of the ballpark.
yeah, but I think that's kind of what at the end of the day kind of kept it from uh the the Oscars. And the release window was also kind of strange for it, I feel like.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It was just kind of crowded out of many of the races.
Yeah. But I think the Oscars are moving towards a more like technical kind of space, I feel
Yeah, I guess.
like everything everywhere all at once and Oppenheimer winning best picture two times in a row or like back to back, I mean. I feel like it's kind of indicative of where they're going to go forward, I feel like.
Yeah, I think Julianne Moore, it was really weird to see her not get any kind of push with how weak the lineup was this year,
Oh yeah.
especially since Gladstone was in leading. Like,
Oh yeah.
it was wide open.
And especially since the holdovers got like stuff. That was strange, I feel like. What
Yeah,
was
I think if Rachel McAdams had more of a campaign, she could have had more support for that too.
Yeah, it's strange. Divine Joy Randolph I feel like was probably
She gave a pretty good performance.
yeah, I agree. It's tough to say for me. I feel like like it's hard to say for me for like acting performances because I feel like
Yeah.
because it's hard because it's like to what extent are you awarding the performance and to what extent are you performing the role? Because like each performance is like each role has its own sort of needs, and
I think that might be part of why May December got crowded out, because there's very few scenes that are just like the Daniel Day-Lewis, like I've abandoned my child type of moment in that kind of movie. Which
yeah,
might be why DiCaprio also got crowded out of the Best Actor race.
that's true.
Just subtlety is underappreciated.
Subtlety is underappreciated. Well, I mean, it's like that. I mean, people talk about that meme where it's like, "This is acting," and it's like just a compilation of like guys yelling in movies. I mean, all of those performances
I've
are great.
abandoned my child.
All those performances are great, and the context of those scenes is what lends them their power. But when you strip them of the context, it's a little silly.
It's a little goofy.
But I think such edits are indicative of people don't value subtlety in the same way.
That's so funny. I looked up I've abandoned my child. There will be blood. I abandoned my child. Emoji. Outstanding screenplays. I've abandoned my child. Parentheses. Incredible acting. Box office movie scenes. And that best original screenplay. The Iron Claw. The Holdovers. May December. Sanctuary. Anatomy of a Fall. I chose May December.
Interesting. Interesting.
My biases are starting to poke out, but
yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's an interesting pick.
Yeah, the screenplay was phenomenal to me. It's extremely well written, and that's hard to say that I chose it over Anatomy of a Fall, but I did.
Wait, who won for the Oscar?
It was Anatomy of a Fall, and that was a good choice.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like that was the popular choice because it's like I haven't seen it, but from what I can tell, it's a very screenplay movie.
Yeah, in ways.
If that makes sense. May December is also kind of a screenplay movie for what it's worth.
May December is a very screenplay movie, but in a good way.
Yeah. What else did you have nominated?
I had the Iron Claw, the Holdovers, and Sanctuary.
I might have picked the Holdovers or the Iron Claw for that matter.
I think they're very good, but I don't think they're better than my top two. They're on the periphery.
I mean, that's fair.
Best actor in a supporting role, Mark Ruffalo, Poor Things. The fifth slot, I mulled over the fifth slot for a long time because there are a lot of great performances, but Dominic Sessa, The Holdovers.
Okay.
RDJ, Robert Downey Jr., Oppenheimer, RDN, Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Charles Melton, May December. And I went with Melton.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there.
I've said it before. I think Melton may have given the performance of the year.
Yeah.
Which is why it hurt my soul to not have him be nominated for the Oscar.
Oh, for sure. Well, I think it's kind of a thing where I feel like, you have like May December, it's kind of if it follows these like two women. And I feel like to the extent in which the movie is kind of about both of them kind of like taking advantage of him in a way.
Yeah.
Charles Melton, I think.
Very oversimplifying, but yeah.
Oh, well, I mean,
for the purpose of just
boiling it down. Yeah. Boiling it down. I think, he really sells that movie, and I think the movie works at all because he really just portrays being in that situation and, all the complicated feelings you obviously have about it.
I think about him in that movie and I want to cry.
Yeah, it's really something.
He sells it.
Yeah. Honestly, I think he probably might have deserved it more than RDJ I feel like.
I've been saying that, and I think RDJ gave like heartily one of the best performances of the year. Just a shame that he gave it in the same year Charles Melton.
Yeah, well, it's tough to say because I feel like RDJ he does bring an impactful performance, but
It's a
it's tough.
very different role.
Yeah, but it's tough to say that his role in Oppenheimer is even a fraction as essential as Melton in May December, where this is kind of where I'm talking about, right? Like Charles Melton, his character sits at the heart of May December in a way that uh, Louis Strauss kind of just doesn't in Oppenheimer.
Well, I mean, it is called Oppenheimer.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But I do think he's a very integral part of that movie.
I mean, that's fair. That's true.
Yeah. So best adapted screenplay, I had Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Killers of the Flower Moon, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, and The Zone of Interest. And I went with Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I think
it's not that the others are poorly written. I just think Oppenheimer sweeps here.
Oh, sure. Well, it's kind of weird to say because Oppenheimer, conversely, despite people joking about the fact that it's like a 3-hour movie about people talking in rooms.
It is a great movie about people talking in rooms.
Yeah, it is, but like it's not a very screenplay movie, right? Like it's a 3-hour it's a 3-hour movie about people talking in rooms that's like that is a blockbuster somehow, and I think that it sort of succeeds in that because it is the screenplay, but like you don't expect it to win an award for that, in my opinion, even though it is very good and I think it is very deserving.
Definitely. Best director, I had Yorgos Lanthimos, Poor Things, Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer, Scorsese, Killers of the Flower Moon, Jonathan Glazer, Zone of Interest, Justine Triet, Anatomy of a Fall. And I was looking over this, I was like, because earlier I was like, I can't believe Todd Haynes just was left out this year. But just looking, I was like, it's crowded.
Yeah,
I feel like they made the right choices. But personally, my choice was Scorsese. Because the direction of Killers is just impeccable.
Yeah,
he's at the top of his game.
Yeah, I haven't seen Flowers yet, but I think that's probably a good pick, for that. I think
yeah, it's probably good.
Yeah, it's probably good. I mean, it's Scorsese. Like I feel like, I mean, I haven't seen it for reasons because it just wasn't very accessible to me, or hasn't been. I'll see it eventually, but I'm a massive fan of The Irishman, and I can only expect that it just is a lot better than The Irishman, obviously.
Yeah. And I'm a big fan of Silence, which I don't think got a lot of love during award season, but very underrated Scorsese movie.
Well, Scorsese historically hasn't gotten a lot of love during award season.
Yeah, but like that one didn't even really get nominations.
Yeah, that's fair. I think though, I think at the end of the day, I have to agree with the Oscars choice for Nolan.
Yeah, I respect it.
I just feel like he's a long deserving director for the award, and Oppenheimer is his best movie. So I just feel like.
Yeah, that was my thing. I think if you're going to give him the award, it would be for this movie.
No, exactly. Like, you don't need to award him for the rest of his life, and it's going to be fine because he would have gotten it right. Because I think that's kind of the narrative around Scorsese, is that they gave him Best Picture, but it was for The Departed. It was like low-key not the right choice.
Yeah, I can see that, but also The Departed fucks, so. I'm inclined to disagree with people on that, considering the 2000s Oscars kind of sucked, low-key, but...
Well, I mean, that's fair enough.
But, alright, Best Actor in a Leading Role, Zac Efron, The Iron Claw, Paul Giamatti, The Holdovers, Johnny Bechtel, The Passenger, Cillian Murphy, Oppenheimer, and Leonardo DiCaprio, Killers of the Flower Moon. It's Cillian Murphy. It's pretty indisputable.
It is Cillian Murphy, although I feel like Zac Efron, low-key, is a pretty good pick, though, too. I feel like.
Yeah, he's great. Just Cillian Murphy, that movie
Cillian
doesn't work
Murphy.
without him.
No, it's true. I mean, it's like his face for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
It feels like.
Cillian Murphy is just also one of the most talented actors alive. And it's so nice to actually see him get praised for it.
Well, I feel like Oppenheimer has to be his Daniel Day-Lewis moment, where he just like enters that sort of space.
Yeah, kind of. Hopefully. But God, his eyes are like the best asset he has.
Oh yeah, they're so piercing.
They're so piercing. I have Best Actress in a Leading Role, Emma Stone, Poor Things, Lily Gladstone, Killers of the Flower Moon, Natalie Portman, May December, Margaret Qualley, Sanctuary, and Sandra Huller, Anatomy of a Fall. To be known, I had Sandra Huller here twice on the short list, but I was like, I can only pick one. So I went with Anatomy of a Fall, but Lily Gladstone was, I think, my winner.
Yeah, I think that was kind of the expectation.
Yeah, but in fairness, I was not mad about Emma Stone winning. It was just a little weird, but in the grander context of Killers of the Flower Moon had not won a single award up to that point in the night, it was a little understandable. It was hard to believe that one category would be the exception.
Well, I feel like when they gave Ariana DeBose supporting actress for West Side Story, I feel like that was kind of
the supporting is always less competitive.
That's fair.
It's like if she was nominated for supporting, which I mean they submitted her for both, so they really had a choice.
Yeah, that's true.
But if she was campaigned for supporting, she probably would have easily won. The fact she had a pretty decent shot at leading is pretty impressive to begin with. I feel like people are like, how can, maybe she should have been supporting. But also, keep in mind, Anthony Hopkins won lead actor for Silence of the Lambs for 10 minutes of screen time.
Okay, yeah,
and nobody debated it.
Sure, but also that's completely fair. I mean, come on.
It's fair, but
yeah.
We have to realize lead does not mean you are in every scene of the movie. Your presence is just like a primary presence.
It's true. I get that, but on the other hand, to that extent, wouldn't Charles Melton, I feel like, be in the lead actor conversation then? Because I think
because he doesn't occupy the screen as much as, like, it's very clear that that Portman and more the primary characters.
I think that's true. I just feel like this whole thing is very
it's arbitrary. And
yeah, it's very subjective.
It's all arbitrary. It's so vibes based.
It's so vibes based. Like I read Ken and Barbie as a co-lead, not as a supporting actor. In my opinion,
I put Gosling as supporting.
You see, but that's kind of the thing that there's the fact that there's disagreement. I feel like is kind of like.
I feel like 9 out of 10 people will tell you he was supporting.
Yeah, I know, but I think 9 out of 10 people are a little wrong. I think he's a co-lead. I think he's just I think
your toxic masculinity is masking your...
It's not toxic masculinity. He's like half the movie. like 50, like a solid 50% goes to Ken.
So should America Ferrera be lead actress?
No, she's obviously supporting. She's not 50% of the movie.
Functionally,
Get
she's
out of
kind of
here.
in that similar role of it's
No,
also
she's
kind of her
not.
movie.
No, she not. Come on, get out of here.
Yes.
There's no shot. There's no shot.
There is most certainly a shot.
There's no shot. No way. She doesn't get her own musical number. She gets a monologue. Ken gets a musical number and a monologue.
Okay, here's my objection. The musical number was not in the original script. They just like put that in because they thought it sounded cool.
I don't fucking care what's in the original script or not. It's in the movie.
Okay, but if they came up with an America Ferrera song for Gloria, then that would have the same argument.
Then you can make that argument. But they didn't make an America Ferrera song.
But she did have a monologue.
She did have a monologue. Like everyone has a monologue. You know, like fucking everyone gets a monologue nowadays.
I mean, it was written by Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach.
It's true. It's a good monologue.
Noah Baumbach does not know how to write a movie without a monologue.
I mean,
I kind of love that for him.
Well, I mean, Marriage Story is like 75% monologues.
And it fucks.
It fucks because, you know, it's real. Honestly, it's like, it's realistic. Sometimes people just fucking talk their shit and they go off. And it's like
people just talk and yap so much.
They just be yapping. Noah Baumbach writes yappers, and I relate to the yappers immensely. No, Ken is a co-lead. Ken is my pick for best actor. And I'm not joking.
I mean, to be fair, I could have put Julianne Moore leading. I just thought, from my perspective, she is more fit for supporting.
Oh, no, I agree with you. I agree with you.
It's arbitrary. But Best Picture, The Iron Claw, Poor Things, The Holdovers, Oppenheimer. To be clear, this was my 10th pick, Barbie. Killers of the Flower Moon, May December, The Zone of Interest, Sanctuary, Anatomy of a Fall.
Wait, before you tell me, you're about to say like The Iron Claw or some like out of left field shit.
I said this, Sanctuary was my left field pick this year.
Really, Sanctuary?
I
don't know much about. I don't know much about that.
I think my left field picks were Johnny Bechtold, The Passenger.
Wait, didn't Sanctuary come out in 2022?
That was Film Festival.
This is some bullshit. I fucking hate film festivals. Release the year the movie comes out. God damn it.
Sometimes they do.
I fucking hate film festivals so goddamn much. And you can quote me on
to be known, it premiered May 11th, or the limited theatrical run was May 19th, 2023.
A limited theatrical run?
And then a wider release was June 2nd.
What is this bullshit? What the fuck is Neon doing? Get your shit together, Neon. Goddamn. Maybe if you did, maybe I had your shit together, Neon. Maybe Ferrari would have gotten some nominations.
I will say, Sanctuary is probably very inaccessible to people who are not down for movies that are basically plays.
I love movies that are basically plays, so maybe I'll watch it.
It kind of fucks, but it's also extremely strange.
So is that your best picture of 2023?
No.
Okay, my bad.
Oh, my other left field picks were Sasha Lane, How to Blow Up a Pipeline. Let's see what else. Culture from Creed 3. Let it be known, Creed 3 made the shortlist for a few categories.
Interesting.
It made the shortlist for cinematography.
I just realized we haven't said air at all yet, and that's kind of fucking disappointing.
I wasn't fucking with the air sweep.
Okay, listen. Viola Davis, supporting actress, she should have won. She should have won. I'll say it.
With her like one scene,
One scene. She's in two scenes,
two scenes. I'm so sorry.
and she fucking nails. She's in three scenes, and she nails it. She, the gravitas of being Michael fucking Jordan's mom is so obvious, and she plays it with such sensitivity and love and care. You really feel like the weight of this woman's. You feel the weight of knowing that this woman knows that her son is literally Jesus fucking Christ. Like Viola Davis literally plays Michael Jordan's mom like the Virgin Mary. It's kind of insane.
Okay, I'm going to be so real here, though. That's just Viola Davis. That's
I
just
know
the day
she's
at the
so
office.
good. She's so good.
But my other left field pick was "Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret" for adapted screenplay. My best picture was drumroll, was "Killers of the Flower Moon,"
Okay. Yeah, I feel that.
which would be known if anybody looked at my list on Letterboxd, which I still have to update actually, but I didn't sway. I almost swayed.
Almost way to what?
Um, you know, Oppenheimer, May December, um, Anatomy of a Fall, a little. I considered a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of feel that.
Mhm.
May December low key best picture conversation for me.
May December fucks. I fuck with May December.
I liked it. I just didn't connect with it in that way. I'm feeling more like if I had seen Killers of the Flower Moon, it probably would have been up there. I'm feeling like the Iron Claw, Oppenheimer, Spider-Verse low key actually. Like
I considered it, but I was like, I will never have any professionalism left if there is any to begin with if I do that.
listen, I'm a fucking goofball, so I can put Spider-Verse on my list. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck everything. Air is my film of the year. Air is my favorite movie of 2023. And yes, it's worse than Oppenheimer, but it's still my best movie of 2023. Okay? There, I said it. Air is my best movie of
It's worse, but it's
2023.
my best picture.
Yes, it's worse than Oppenheimer, but it's also best. It's also the best. Listen, no, that was the movie of 2023 was Air. Okay? And I will take no debate.
Yeah. I think we've yapped long enough, and my allergies have killed me long enough, and I need to get sleep for tomorrow. So
God bless you.
thank you in multiple ways. Shout out to the bot Craig
Shout out to Craig
streamlining the audio.
for streamlining the audio. You might have lost like 10 minutes of audio there, but we love you, Craig. If you see any weird messages in the video, then that's what happened.
Yeah, but I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you for tuning in. If you're still listening, comment your best picture.
Comment your favorite movie, but not the actual best movie you thought.
Actually, just like the video, please.
Just like the video, please.
Like nobody likes our videos anymore.
No one likes our videos anymore because they're fucking fake as hell.
Crooked YouTube and Sleepy YouTube. They don't want you to like the video. But the woke left do not want you to like the Swifter podcast.
I thought you were mid sneeze, but then I realized you're doing a Trump impression.
It's hard to tell. There are a lot of people who tell me, Trump, I'm sure if you made a movie, you'd be the best director ever in Hollywood. And that's how humble I am. That I've never directed a movie.
We gotta stop.
We have to stop. We'll cut like half of that.
We'll cut like most of it. I'll pick out my favorites.
It'll exist. Just Patreon.
The Patreon exclusive. That's listen to the extended Trump impression in episode 14, Swifter's version.
Listen to this Dynasty Trump impression.
Ask us on Twitter to do our Trump impression. Actually, you can't find Jenna right now because she's on a Twitter break.
Guys, I'm on a Twitter hiatus, but when I'm not, you can find me at Fiona Appletree with 1A.
And you can find me at Lucas_copy_1.
That's it. That's the Swifter podcast.
That's it. That's the episode.
Stay cool.
Stay cool.
Yeah, we'll be off there.